Hey, we are back for more Shakesyear. We are in Act 2, Scene 7, which is a scene in which Jaques talks an awful lot. So today I'm putting a bunch of it together just to save us from having 17 days of Jaques all in a row. If you remember, everybody's running away to the forest because things are not so good at court and or various people have been banished and that sort of thing. Orlando and Adam have gone away together, and Adam is near death because he's an old man following along with this young guy and trying to take care of him, and they haven't eaten in a while. And Adam has just promised that he will find him food wherever he can possibly find it. And in the other realm of things, Celia and Touchstone and Rosalind have purchased some property so that they can live with this shepherd. Anyway, so today we've got a whole bunch of Jaques stuff, and Jaques is the melancholy fellow that the Lords of Arden were talking about to kick off the act, who was weeping over these poor deer that wouldn't, or a deer that had been hurt, and then other deer that wouldn't stay and keep him company, whatever. He's known as a very melancholy fellow, and he has he's been hanging out with Duke Senior and some of Duke Senior's guys and making fun of their songs and all that sort of stuff. He's just been basically a grumpy dude. But then apparently just prior to this scene, he meets Touchstone in the forest and things change. So Duke Senior has two little itty-bitty lines in here, and just to delineate those, the Duke Senior is going to wear a bow tie for those two lines, but the rest of this is Jaques stuff just after he has met Touchstone. A fool. A fool. I met a fool in the forest, a motley fool, a miserable word. As I do live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms, in good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he, call me not fool, till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, it is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see, quoth he, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twill be 11. And so from hour to hour we ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot, and thereby hangs a tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on time, my lungs began to crow like chanticleer. That fool should be so deep contemplative, and I did laugh, sans intermission, an hour by his dial. O noble fool, O worthy fool, motley's the only wear. What fool is this? O worthy fool, one that hath been a courtier, and says, if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. And in his brave, which is as dry as the remainder brisket after a voyage, he hath strange places crammed with observation, the which he vents in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool! I am ambitious for a motley coat. Thou shalt have one. It is my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgments of all opinion that grows rank in them, that I am wise. I must have liberty with all, as large as charter as the wind to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. And they that are most galled with my folly, they must most laugh. And why, sir, must they so? The why is plain as way to parish church. He that a fool doth very wisely hit, doth very foolishly, although he smart seem senseless of the bob. If not, the wise man's folly is anatomized even by the squandering glances of the fool. Invest me in my motley. Give me leave to speak my mind, and I will, through and through, cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if they will patiently receive my medicine. Which is actually really kind of a lovely speech and a chat about the use of satire and mockery as a tool, as like a teaching tool, whatever. And I also think that it's a lovely change that we see in Jaques. Everybody else in the play gets to fall in love with somebody else in the play, and he gets to fall in love with a different disposition that brings him joy Anyway, we'll see where all of that goes later. We get to hear a little bit more from him tomorrow, including a very famous bit that you may have heard before, talking about the 7 stages of man. Anyway, I'll see you then. Mwah.